Now let's dive into question number 3. Do I need to know everything? Another agonizing question many wives wrestle with is, do I need to know every single thing he's done and done online to heal? How much detail is too much? Christian counselors like me who work with sexual betrayal often say the answer is yes and no. You do need honest, non-minimizing truth about the scope of the problem, how long it's been going on, what types of behaviors are involved, whether there's been contact with real people, money spent, legal risks, or health risks. But you probably don't need graphic, play-by-play descriptions of explicit scenes or specific people that will only create intrusive images for you to battle later. One wife in a Christian support group later regretted asking for all the minutiae of her husband's sexual history, because those details became images she couldn't get out of her head. If you're not sure what to ask, here's a script you can borrow when you're ready and safe. You can say to your husband, I need you to be fully honest with me about the scope of your behavior. How long, how often, what kinds. I need to know if my health, our finances, or our legal safety has been put at risk. I don't need graphic descriptions or comparisons. I'm asking for the truth that helps me make wise decisions, not details that will replay in my mind. And if you won't answer basic questions or keeps minimizing, like it was just once, or it's no big deal, that is data for you, not a reason to push yourself into more detail. You're allowed to slow the conversation down, bring a counselor or pastor into it, or say, right now my nervous system is overwhelmed. We're going to pause here. Now let's look at question number 4. Why can't I stop checking his phone and replaying everything? Let's talk about the hypervigilance that makes you feel a little bit like you're losing your mind. Maybe you've turned into a detective, checking phone records and browser histories, scrolling bank statements, watching his GPS location, triple checking what time he leaves work and gets home. Maybe you find yourself snapping at him when he's 5 minutes late, panicking if he takes his phone into the bathroom, or crying in waves that feel completely out of proportion, even to you. Here's what us trauma-informed Christian therapists would tell you. This detective work and hyper-control are common trauma responses. They're your nervous system's way of trying to regain a sense of safety and control after a blindside. You're not crazy, you're injured and trying to protect yourself. That doesn't mean every coping strategy is helpful long-term, but it means we start with compassion, not shame. So here's a few gentle ideas. Number 1, set time-limited check-in windows. Instead of checking his devices all day, you might agree on specific times. Like on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m., we sit together and go through accountability reports, devices, and questions. Then outside of that time, I give my nervous system a break. This moves you toward what some of us Christian counselors call trust but verify, instead of verify 24/7 and never exhale. Number 2, keep a spiral notebook. When the urge to check hits at 11 p.m., try this first. Write down, what just triggered me? Rate your distress from 0 to 10 and ask, is this a question I can bring up during our next check-in window, or is there a genuine new red flag evidence? If it's mostly anxiety and not new data, that's your inner alarm asking for soothing, not necessarily your intuition screaming, he's acting out right this second. Number 3, use a short grounding practice before you act. We're about to do one together in a minute, and often you can bring your own body down a few notches. You can decide from a calmer place whether to check or whether it's time to put the phone down and rest. Remember, the goal is not to talk yourself out of your instincts. The goal is to let your body know, right now, I'm safe in this exact moment, so that you can discern more clearly. Okay, so let's get into our quick little grounding practice. You can use this whenever you feel like you're about to come apart. If you're able, put your feet flat on the floor and let your hands rest in your lap. And begin by orienting to your present surroundings. Look around the room and quietly name 3 things you can see. Might be a nearby lamp, a window, or your coffee mug. Search the room and tune in to 3 things. Then notice 2 things you can physically feel. It might be the chair under your legs, the feet in your socks. Begin to notice what you feel. This tells your brain, I'm here, right now, not back in the discovery moment. And then begin to breathe. Inhale gently through your nose for a count of 4, and exhale like you're blowing out through a straw for a count of 6. Let's do it 3 times together. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 4. Exhale for a count of 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 4. Exhale for a count of 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 4. And exhale for a count of 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. You can return to a normal breath and know that longer exhales sends a signal to your nervous system that it can step out of fight or flight. Now begin by naming and releasing 2% of what you notice in your body. So start by noticing where the strongest feeling is in your body. Is it tightness in your chest, a knot in your stomach, tension in your jaw? Just quietly name it, like tight chest, heavy stomach. You don't have to fix it, just acknowledge it. And now, on each exhale, imagine releasing 2% of that sensation to Jesus. Not all of it, just 2%. Almost like praying, Jesus, I can't carry all of this. Here's a little bit for you to hold while I breathe. If you need words, you can whisper, Lord, have mercy on my nervous system. Be near to my broken heart. Do that for 30 to 40 seconds. Afterwards, you might feel 5% better, or nothing may have changed yet. Either way, you're practicing what it means to bring your embodied self into God's presence, not just your church face.